Okay, here we are. Prop the mic, presented by Props.cash, coming to you on another glorious day here in Southern California. Blue skies, clear. We got a nice 2-game slate. It feels like we're just back in our wheelhouse here. This is like regular mid-season NBA, nice 2-game slate. You can really wrap your head around it. Were you feeling the same way?
Yeah, it's a huge step back from what was it, 14 games last night.
Yeah, that's a beast.
That is a beast. We're gonna have to probably prioritize that a little bit. We covered, I think, close to like 10 of those games, and we researched all of them, so it was a lot. But yeah, I figured out why the Hawks and the Magic were the only team that didn't play. We're gonna cover them today, but they're playing in Mexico City tonight, so
Yeah,
that's one of the games we're gonna cover here. So I don't know what that means for all of our analysis, but we'll figure that out in a minute.
we'll find out.
Anything from last night's games that stood out to you that was good, or
I don't know. There was like so much going on that I can't. I don't know. No one main takeaway. Why did you have something?
No, I mean, I watched the two picks that we posted up on X. We put up, I counted over 40 picks on our spaces, and then which is a lot. And then we put up two main picks on X. We had Gobert rebounds, 11 and a half rebounds. That cashed in the third quarter. I think he ended up with 21 rebounds. So we were just talking about the Rudy Gobert of old, like the 20 rebound a game guy. He was that guy last night.
Yeah.
And then Aaron Gordon, 10 and a half RA was the other one we posted. He had, I think, 9 at halftime. He got a rebound in the third quarter and did nothing else. And then I'm like sweating it. I was literally just waiting for that, that 11th one to go to bed. He finally got it and then had a bunch more. So, but he's pretty dominant. Might play his rebounds in the future instead of RA.
Yeah, I think you got to pick those spots with the assists, but yeah, the rebounds are a good one.
All right, you want to jump into tonight's slate, the two games?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So let's start with the Bucks at the Pacers. Bucks are 5-2 on the season. Pacers are 5-3 on the season. The Pacers are kind of like the surprise team. I think everybody expected them to be better this year, but they're actually looking pretty good, mostly because of their offense. Total is 241.5, and the Pacers are getting 3.5 points at home. What do you like here from a matchup standpoint?
Love that 240. Nice high total. I think we can look for some scoring here. Keep in mind that, Pacers have been better doing most of their work offensively. Defensively, it's not as strong. And I think it's worth noting for sure here that, I think a lot of us have in our mind, the Milwaukee Bucks, and you think to these really defensive-minded teams from the past few years. They are not that team this year.
No, not at all.
They're finding it very difficult to get stops. So that's why you're seeing that high total. And I think there's some opportunity here to play some overs in terms of scoring against the Bucks. So that's where I'll start off. I think you have two nice matchups here for both Buddy Hield and Tyrese Haliburton. Let's start with Haliburton. I like his over 21.5 points. Have it at -120 on DK. This is the second best overall scoring matchup on our big board here for today. So that's one of the reasons I was drawn to it. Haliburton, excellent splits on back-to-backs. If you look at his back-to-backs at home, he's cleared in 6 of his last 7.
Yeah, look at that. A couple 40 pieces in a row, too.
Yeah, that was my next point. So he had 40 in 2 of his last 3 games on a back-to-back, including one this season against Charlotte when he had 43. And normally I would say, if this was last year, I'd be like, oh, well, he did. Obviously, it was Charlotte, now he's playing Milwaukee. But I don't think it's too far off here with what we've seen from Milwaukee so far. So I like that quite a bit. And then if you look at some of the guards to play Milwaukee, Cade had 33. I was on that the other day. Brunson, 45. Schroeder, 24. Trae Young, 20. Maxey, 31. Marcus Sasser, even 26. So I think it's a great spot for Haliburton here. Were you looking at this as well?
I was looking at a Haliburton prop, but somehow I missed the points. I didn't realize point guards have just been dominating. That it doesn't really surprise me that much. That's kind of where the Bucks lost their depth, right?
Yeah.
They picked up more offensive firepower at the guard position. They lost their defensive strength there. So, I like that. I'm thinking about putting something on like Haliburton 35 points or something like that too. Yeah, ladder it up as well. So, so 21.5 is nice. Even though if we just tick off all the filters, he's only hit that in two games so far this season. This seems like a prime spot.
Yeah. This is a great spot for him, scoring in general in this game. So the other guy I'm targeting, we'll get to him, is Buddy Hield, over 13.5 points. Bring him up on the screen there. I want to show you something beautiful. Now look at
Yep.
Buddy on a back-to-back.
Yeah, I was
season.
looking at
You
that.
saw that?
Yeah, he's
13
similar.
of his last 14. You have take the home split away.
Oh, right. Whew, look at that.
13 of his last 14 games on a back-to-back. He had 19 on a back-to-back this season against Charlotte, that same game where Haliburton had 43. Look at his splits against Milwaukee now. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
20,
yeah, buddy.
22, and 18. And then for good measure, I'll throw out some comps to you. Cam Thomas, 45. Quentin Grimes, 17. Duncan Robinson, 15. Tyler Hero, 35. Bogdanovich, 17. Kelly Oubre, 27. Come on, this is a beautiful play.
Yeah, I was looking at those comps too. Even if you go to the small forwards, you get some great position. They consider him a small forward, but he's really a shooting guard, isn't he? Right?
Yeah. I would say that. Yeah, I don't know why. He's a wing, so he's kind of falling into that shooting guard, small forward category. Yeah.
So tell me, like, I've always tried to figure out, like, why are guys better on back-to-backs? Like, what is it about a back-to-back? Like, more rest should help, right?
You think it should help, but it's also like Fred. Like, these guys are well-conditioned athletes, and I think some guys just, in that, quick bounce back, quick one-day turnaround, like they're fresh, and I don't know, some guys there's definitely something there because you see this all the time, and it holds. There's certain guys that just perform, and there's certain guys the other way too that perform better when they're on 2 and 3 days rest. So those are other guys that I like to look at as well.
It's kind of wild. Oh, okay. His 3-point line is 2.5. I thought it was 3.5 before, so. I thought they were projecting him to have 4 threes, which would be 12 points and 13.5 total points. But yeah, 2.5 threes seems pretty good too, right?
So you just led to my next play here. So I do like also to like juice things up a little bit. I love the Buddy Hield straight points play, but I think he's in nice position for a threes ladder here. So if you can get 4+ threes at plus 160. Look at that. I mean, come on, and you can get 5+ threes for plus 410. I think it's a nice little way to get some extra juice on Buddy here. Yeah.
I mean, you got to figure it's either him or Haliburton that goes off tonight. Both of them could. Neither of their lines are huge, right? You got 21.5 and 13.5. So one of them is going to be just firing away from 3. So I think these are both good plays. I really like that Buddy 4 or 5 threes. I think that's great. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, that was one of my picks as well. Just going back to Haliburton, I think also rebounds is probably a good play. He's not really known for rebounding, but he just came off of a 6 rebound game. And if you look at point guards, opposing point guards against Milwaukee as well, Killian Hayes had 5 rebounds, Cade Cunningham 8, and Sasser had 6. Right, that's all in the same game, right? So three point guards in that same game. And Ben Simmons put up a 15 rebounds. Right, I wouldn't consider him a traditional point guard, considering he's almost 7 feet tall. But then you had Schroeder with 4, Lowry with 4, Maxey with 4. So I could see him ending up with 4 rebounds in this game as well. Thoughts? Yeah,
it's one of the best rebounding matchups just against Milwaukee as a whole. Their team is ranked in the 88th percentile in terms of rebounds allowed to opponents. So it's a great rebounding matchup for all the Pacers here tonight.
Nice. All right. Anybody else on Indy?
Anyone else on Indy? Yeah, I got a couple more here. So this one was interesting. I looked at him because he was popping out in our model here, well at the top of both points and rebounds. Jalen Smith. I like his PR, points and rebounds combined, 16.5. I'd love it if it went down to 15.5. Is it a 15.5?
No, 16.5 on all the books. Yeah.
All right. So and minus 105. He's done this, you can see right there, 5 of 7 games this season. Look at his last 2 against Milwaukee. It was Milwaukee split.
Sorry, I was writing this down so I could play it as soon as we get off.
Look at his last 2 against Milwaukee.
22.
Yeah. Then look at his rebounding just in general over the last. No, but just go to this season. You can see it's really ticked up over the last 3 games. Yeah, look at that. 11, 9, and 7. So I like that trend. Like I mentioned, best rebounding matchup on the board today. The only weakness with this play is just his minutes. He doesn't play a ton of minutes, but he doesn't need a lot to get there either. I mean, if you look at some of those, I mean, he's getting there in under 20 minutes.
I was seeing why Yeah, I mean, if you look, despite those minutes, he gets in foul trouble a
Yeah,
lot, right? That's
that's fun.
crazy, right? Very undisciplined. But he is coming off of almost a 25-minute game, so
Yeah,
yeah, I could see that. I mean, the Bucks have a good amount of size, right?
yeah.
So between Giannis and Lopez, so
Hmm.
I could see them needing to kind of rotate through their big guys, and I could see Smith getting some time tonight. So
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah,
yeah. It's not as strong of a play as the other ones we just gave out, but I think there's some good upside there. If he plays 20 minutes in this game, I think that this is good to go. Um, then I got two others here, just because the rebounding matchup is really jumping out to me here. So I think Ben Mathurin, his scoring hasn't been great this season, but I think he's trying to make up for it on the boards here. So it's only 3.5 rebounds, minus 105. Look at his last 3 games against Milwaukee.
yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
That's
9, 8,
kind
and
of
8.
during that stretch where he was on fire, right?
Yes, yeah, he was playing. He was playing some big minutes then, but he just had 9 rebounds the last game they played on Tuesday. So I like that trend. I think it carries over to this game here with the 9, 3, and 5. It's only 3.5 and minus 105. So I like Mathurin, and I also at the same line, Bruce Brown 3.5 assists. This one's a little bit more pricey at minus 145 on DK.
Assist, you
But
said?
rebounds, sorry,
Oh, rebounds. Okay.
rebounds. Um, so if you look at
So,
him on a back, look at Brown on a back to back. Oh, is it 4.5 everywhere now?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was minus 145. Don't love it as much at 4.5. But if you look at him on a
Okay.
back to back, yeah, well, that's what you got there. But it went up to 4.5. So yeah, he's cleared in 7 of his last 10 on a back to back when it was at 3.5. His last 2 he had 8 and 5 against Milwaukee. His last 2 games, the 8 actually was on a back to back against Milwaukee last season. So I like that.
Yeah.
He's also cleared in 4 of his last 5 at home this season, and 5 of 7 overall. Those stats obviously are all at 3.5. So yeah, don't love this now that it seems to have been bought up.
Yeah, he's a tough player too to analyze in this game. I mean, he was on a different team last year and playing against a different type of Bucks team. I'm not sure how useful the historical data is for him.
Mm-hmm.
Just going back to Mathurin though, I noticed something. If you look at his minutes, hold on. In the last game that he played almost 40 minutes in the game, 38 minutes. So what I like to do with that, once I find like an outlier like that, what I like to do is go and listen to the post game minutes from the team coach and just see what he said about Mathurin. Like a lot of times you can hear like, all right, Ben was really big out there tonight. We're going to continue to get him some more playing time. The books aren't really into that like sort of data. Like that's more just anecdotal stuff. But if you hear that sort of thing and you see that his minutes just jumped, this could be a really good value spot if his minutes are on the rise. Could go the other way. Could go the other way too. Like you might find out he played because somebody got injured. So I would definitely dig into that. But that seems like a really good play at 3.5. So I like that one.
Nice.
All right. Anything on the Buck side?
I just have one. I think Giannis over 28.5 points is pretty good. It's the 3rd best scoring matchup on our board here today. He's great in back-to-backs. He's cleared in 7 of his last 9 games in back-to-back. And his last 2 games in Indiana, 38 and 41 points.
Yeah, this seems like a good spot. He got ejected from the game last night too.
Yeah, I like it even more because of that. He's going to be a little playing a little angry tonight.
Yeah, so he had 0 fourth quarter points because he must have got ejected in the 3rd quarter. And he only finished with 15. So again, that could be pulling his line down a little bit. It has gone from 28.5 up to 29.5. And Caesars has it at minus 145 at 29.5. So that tells you what kind of movement there is. But you can still get it at DraftKings or DK for minus 110. You like it? You like him for 30 still?
Yeah, I like him for 30 tonight. Yeah.
Maybe Giannis 30 and Haliburton 30 or something like that tonight.
Ooh, Haliburton 30. There we go.
All right. Anything else in this game?
One other, just a quick little. This was SGP. It's plus 120. Bruce Brown for 1 steal and Dame for 1 steal together. Bruce Brown, he's done in 6 of 8 this season. His last 2 games against Milwaukee, and he's cleared this in 9 of 10 games on a back-to-back. This are both really back-to-back. Back-to-back trends.
Yeah.
Are you on him?
Yeah, I got him back-to-back. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. 9 of 10, and then look at Dame's cleared in 9 straight games on a back-to-back. At the top.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's plus 120. You put those 2 guys together. They're both like minus 200 on on their own.
Yeah, it's not a bad spot.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Anything for Brook Lopez tonight?
No.
I was kind of teetering. I just have this gut feeling. It's not really supported by data, but I just have this gut feeling that he's going to drill a couple threes tonight. Anything popping out in the matchups that would say that is potentially good?
Let's see here. Bear with me one sec. There he is, Brook Lopez. Let's see.
He had 4 threes last night, 0 against Brooklyn, and then 4 against the Knicks. So he's bombing away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. He's the 3 matchup. It's 84th percentile for threes, 82nd percentile in corner threes. So yeah, pretty nice matchups there. So yeah, that could be a nice spot for him.
Yeah, I think what I looked at earlier is if you look, he's shot 4 3-pointers in every game except for 1. So if you take his on props like cash, if you take his 3-point attempts up to 4, and you look at just the last year or so, he's got a 71% hit rate of getting 2 threes when he actually shoots 4 threes, which is pretty good, right, for a big man to essentially be having that sort of hit rate. So yeah, I think that's another play to throw out there. Okay,
nice.
All right, let's move on to the second game. We got the Hawks at the Magic. Hawks are 4-3. Magic are 4-3 as well. Magic are getting 3.5 points at home. It's not really a home, right? This game's in Mexico City. Yeah. Total though is high again, 232.5. So just as a reference point, I said this earlier in the season, but the average team is getting about 113 points a game. So your average total would project for about 226. So anything north of 226 is a high scoring game. That first game at 241.5 is huge. This one is still pretty high at 232. What do you like?
I'm just looking at the injury report real quick. I just going back to the other game. I see Dame is listed as questionable tonight on the back-to-back. Maybe I don't know. I love that Giannis play even more if Dame sits tonight.
Yeah. I mean, Giannis is also. I don't know why he's showing up in the may not play, but he's projected to play. So is Dame. They're both actually projected to play. But yeah, that would be.
I see on the injury report that just came out. Yeah, Giannis is listed as probable. Dame's listed as questionable. So
okay.
All right, let's get back to this Atlanta at Orlando, or is it the other way around? Which one?
It's Atlanta at Orlando, kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
Wendell Carter is out, just so you know, and Markelle Fultz is questionable. Gary Harris is out, just in case you had any of those guys in mind.
I did not.
Good.
All right, let's look here. So you have assists across the board in this game are pretty good matchup. So that's something that most of my plays involve assists here. But let's start with Atlanta. I like Dejounte Murray over 26.5 points and assists. It's -110 on DK. He's cleared this in 4 straight games, 35, 27, 32, 46. So nice upward trend there. 2 of his last 3 games against Orlando, he's cleared. He's also cleared this in 4 of his last 5 on 2 days rest, averaging 33 PA. And actually the one he missed on 2 days rest was he had 26 and 26 that other game there too. So this would be a home run at 25.5. But I think it's still looking pretty good here at 26.5.
Yeah, that's nice. I actually had his PRA at 31.5 once before. So similar play, similar hit rates. He cleared the games up by a little bit more margin on the PRA. If you see that one game, he had a few more rebounds that pushed him up. I love the play. Like all the data is saying play this guy, but we have never. You remember we banned Dejounte Murray last year from PTM.
We did. That's right.
So right, like we had very poor success in cashing with Murray. What makes you think this year is different?
It's a new year. It's a new year, a new day, a new Dejounte.
Really? Because I banned Tom Brady from my fantasy football team about 10 years ago, and he's never been on my team since. So I carry it over from year to year in football. But you're saying here on PTM we're more forgiving.
Yeah, well, you got to give him another shot at least at the beginning of the year. You know, if he lets us down tonight, then we can kick him to the curb again.
All right, very good. That's fair enough.
Okay.
All right. Who else do you like on anybody else on Atlanta?
Yeah, so I like Trae Young assists here as well. Over 9.5 assists is -145 on DK. Look at his last 4 games against Orlando.
Oh wow.
big assist numbers. 13, 16, 14, and 13. Just overall this season, 5 of 6 he's cleared this. So I like the straight line for the 10 assists, and I think 12 plus, 13 plus, 14 plus is also a good look here tonight. 14 plus is plus 500 on FanDuel, so I think a little Trae assist ladder could be in order here.
Yeah. I don't love the minus 145. Do you think playing? I know you're talking about a ladder, but even as the straight play, do you think 11 assists is good at plus 124 on FanDuel? Yeah,
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Look at the output, the volume he had against Orlando there. He cleared 11 by quite a bit.
Yeah, and that Orlando team is pretty much the same team that they had last year, right? It's a pretty good team to comp against year over year, and even this year, right? He's had 11 assists in 4 of the last 6 games, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that is nice. Or you can go 10 assists and parlay it with something else if you don't like the minus 140. All right, cool. I love that play. Who else do you like?
I got 2 others here on the Orlando side. Do you have anybody else for Atlanta?
No, Murray was my only play on Atlanta. So, although I'm always tempted to go Clint, 9.5 rebounds. Not a good matchup here, or what?
The rebounds are not a great matchup. I mean, better than his points are screaming out for a fade here. I don't know if it's something we're interested in doing, but the rebound matchup's not great. 59th percentile overall.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to look at Orlando's historicals here for the earlier part of the season because Carter was in and now Carter's out, so the alignment is different. You got Mo Wagner probably guarding Capela tonight, or what's that other guy's name? Goga
Batata,
So, but they kind of kept the Mavs in check, right? Derek Lively, who we were talking about a couple nights ago, he only had 5 rebounds, and Dwight Powell only had 2 rebounds. So I think this is a pass tonight, as much as it breaks my heart because I love playing Capela.
I know. You'll be okay.
I'll be okay. All right, who do you like on Orlando?
It's assists for both of these play. A lot of assists in this game. So I like Jalen Suggs over 2.5 assists. This is minus 145 on DK as well. A lot of pricey lines here, but he's cleared this right there. You can see in 4 straight games, and also trending upwards. That's because I think Fultz missed the last game, right? So that's why his assists were up. Fultz is still questionable. I don't know. Did you see anything? Should he be playing or?
It says day to day. If we look at Suggs with Fultz in the lineup, he's cleared only in 1 of 4. If you look at him with him out of the lineup,
go include last season too.
Yeah, I mean his minutes just go up a lot, right?
Yeah,
well, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, so it almost feels like this line is baking Fultz into the lineup.
Yeah, agreed. Yes, agreed. Yes, but I think with him being questionable, having missed the last 3 games, them traveling internationally to Mexico City, I don't know. He still listed as questionable. Could his minutes be down? I just think that I don't know. Suggs' minutes have been up, and I think it's a good risk to take here. I think
it's a great risk. Yeah. And don't forget the fact that Fultz missed the first half of his career, right?
Yeah,
with injuries, right? So they're going to be careful with this guy. I don't know if what he has right now is related to his original injury, but regardless, they're going to treat him probably carefully. So even if he does play, he's going to probably play reduced minutes. So this is probably a good spot for Suggs to get 4, 5, 6 assists potentially.
Yeah,
so
I think so.
I like that. Okay, I had that play actually too.
Oh, nice, cool.
And I think I had your other play too. So who was the other assist guy?
Is it Banchero?
Yeah, Banchero.
Take it. Go for it. You Duke boy, you got it.
Duke guy. I don't know, he was only there for 1 year.
Yeah,
he let me down. Banchero. I mean, we've been talking about Banchero all season. His assists are up big time. He's cleared 4.5 assists, which is minus 125 on minus 130 on DK now. He's cleared this in 5 of the last 7 games. The ones that he did miss were 4. So if you're worried about him getting 5 assists, I think you can also alt this down and put it with Suggs as well, or Trae, or maybe put all 3 of these guys together for alted down lines. I think that's a great play here. He's averaging 33.2 minutes, and he's had some good history against Atlanta as well, if I recall.
Yep.
If you look at his 3 games against Atlanta, again, the team was pretty similar with the exception of John Collins, but 5, 6, and 7 assists last year against Atlanta, even when he wasn't, he was more of like a 2.5 assist guy last year. So anything else to add?
I just think guys, comps that have played Atlanta so far this season: Kuzma 6 assists, Julius Randle 9, Kyle Anderson 5, Gordon Hayward 7. So some nice comps there for Banchero with big assist numbers.
Yeah, seems like a good spot. All right, anything else on Orlando points wise?
Nope, those are all my plays for today.
I think that's good. Yeah, that's all I had as well.
All right.
Any commentary on Thursday Night Football? We put one pick up on X. Who do we got? Carolina and Chicago. You excited about that game?
Am I excited about that game? I'm not for some reason. Usually I am for those kind of games, but I don't know. I feel like maybe a little bit better earlier in the season. I feel like it's getting a little bit late, and guys are kind of like start throwing in the towel and whatnot. So especially on a Thursday night, I'm kind of staying away from that game.
Yeah. We put our one pick up on X, and we'll probably hold there unless we find something great before kickoff. So anyway, play these NBA plays because this is where the action will be tonight.
Yeah. So we'll get a couple of these up on X. Nice work today, and let's lock these in and let's make some money tonight.